into the winners finals. So now we're going to see who goes up next. We've got, I believe it's going to be BURTS versus NoNames. So that is going to be a huge fight.
Yeah, and I remember BURTS from the last match, or the last qualifier, and NoName really has a great lineup of players as well. So not sure what to expect other than just great gameplay. And I think that we're going to be diving right into it here soon. So it looks like the first map that they picked will be Skyway Stadium again. And then we move to Las Vegas and finally finish up on Cis Horizon. I'm a little surprised that the cider is Cis Horizon. We're not seeing that one in there sooner. But I think Skyway Stadium, Las Vegas should be really great maps for both teams to kind of show what they can do. And yeah, Skyway Stadium, I'm curious if we get any variations, just like we did. I'm still waiting to see somebody put the cash out into one of the moving platforms, because I think that will really increase just kind of the fun factor of these games, just to make things a little more exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you got to remember as well, BURTS is one of the most vicious squads in NA. This is Sueco, Chickpea, and Z. And Chickpea is one of, if not the greatest lights in the finals, because Chickpea's LH1 is absolutely insane. And that being said, if they are going to be able to take this dub here and go off into the grand finals, that means that we have a very good chance of seeing a really awesome grand finals with heavy, medium, light teams. But on the other hand, if they end up going into the lower bracket, then we get an even more fun matchup, because we're going to be seeing Grief Party going up against them for the semifinal. And it's just tons and tons of stuff that could change up here depending on who wins, and if our grand final is HML versus MMH. So many things could go off here, and especially because we're going to be seeing the heavy medium light versus the double medium heavy on this matchup right now with NoName. Things are going to be crazy.
Yeah. I'm honestly impressed at how many lights we're seeing today. I think that far outnumbers the last match, or the last qualifier, and it adds into that mix and makes everything more, unique, more, different play styles. It's not just kind of, pocket healers. It's good, diverse games today, and I'm quite excited to see what this next one brings us.
Absolutely. And this is a very, very intense fight right now as well, because BURTS and NoName are both matched up right now with the same number of points, which means that every single round here counts. No matter what, they need to be winning maps. And it's all really going to come down to this right here for both these teams, because because they're tied, whoever goes into the lower bracket, if they don't win that lower bracket match, it's done. It's over right then and there. So right now, this is a proper final matchup here for Qualifier 4. Excited to see what's going to come through from it. And once we get started with BURTS, I think that we'll start to gauge what NoName can do against them, because there are, again, so many different ways to play light. And if they decide to put Chickpea on the MP5 versus the LH1, then there could be an opening there. But if Chickpea on his LH1, if Chickpea hit the aim labs feeling good today, I gotta say, NoName is a good squad. NoName has some proper talent, especially Noah, X, and Vlad. But at the same time, if they can't keep up with that LH1 chip damage, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, and that LH1 is just a really hard weapon to master, but if you can, it is deadly, and you can shoot so far across the map. It does have open sights, but it is open season basically if anybody's in those sites. So I would love to see the LH1 pulled out here, and I think you said Chickpea's the one that might be running it, and I think that really from what these names that I remember, Sueco, person to watch, and Vlad and some of these other teams on NoName, I think it'll be a really great mix-up.
Absolutely. And again, I'm very excited to see, because if we do get the next fight with heavy, medium, light, it's going to be sick, because, I haven't seen too much of, if we look at the last team, Grief Party, Carnifex kind of coming up, showing up out of nowhere and doing a bunch to actually get some wins on NetX and MXKX's team. You know, it's some new talent that's coming through. And especially if we're able to see, you know, even if it's the grand finals or even if it's just the lower bracket finals, we're going to be seeing some intense games from BURTS and some HML. So once again, we look at NoName, an EU team. So, of course, it's that MMH. And we're going to be seeing that double heels coming up against. And this is what I'm so excited for, is seeing what Sueco and Z and...
And to get started, they put up a zip line immediately.
Wait a second. Did I miss this?
Yeah,
Z and... Oh, he's not on here. It's Vilify. They swapped Chicky for Vilify, and that means that we're going to be seeing a double medium. It's double medium heavy. I spent the last 5 minutes talking about nothing.
It's okay. Still should be a good matchup. You know, you love to see the double mediums because it means that the fights stay up for longer, and they're able to kind of play a little bit more passively and kind of get the heals off. So it does look like we have suspended structures. Do we have moving platforms as well? I'm not sure, but this is a great map variation. And we see the fighting about to kind of kick off here. They're both boosting up. We see that BURTS is kind of set up and waiting and getting the chip off damage on the top of the roof. The team is kind of spread out, but it helps because they're able to kind of deal damage to everybody.
And check this out, super strong start because we're already seeing just that sustain versus sustain of double medium teams. In fact, this is the first time today that we've seen double medium teams come out and show, and it's BURTS that just starts off incredibly strong here. NoName can't even keep up. Again, when it comes to that double medium gameplay, we talked before about HML versus HML, where it's about protect the medium because there's nobody that's there to actually heal up your healer, right? But now that we've got the double medium, it's entirely different conversation because you have the ability to sustain and deal damage at the exact same time.
Yeah, and I personally like that on at least BURTS' team. One player, I'm not sure who, is running the zipline. So you have zipline and jump pad, and in a map like this where it's so big and so open, you can really see that the traversal is just sped up. I love the zipline. I think it's a underutilized tool, and we can see that they're able to just jump in there and get into the fight. And now they have the advantage because they were able to kind of get in a good spot. We see NoName trying to run up the stairs, get set up for their fight. We see no X FPS holding that APS turret because as soon as they get on point, they know that they're going to need it to stop that RPG. But we see BURTS just kind of in a great position, and they're doing the same thing. They set up the APS turret around the vault, and the vault is already halfway done. And we really are not seeing a push from NoName. I guess here it comes.
Here it is, and unfortunately, they're going to be eating tons of damage here. Again, when you're diving on, you don't have much in the way of APS. They're going to eat tons of damage, lose one healer, and check this out. BURTS keeps that sustain up, and that is going to be just enough sustain. Only down to one medium. He does get the res off, but the question is that going to be enough? Can BURTS come through and cancel this sustain out? It's just up to Vladimir now. One heavy, but 3 seconds until the coin needs to survive just that long, but they get the wipe, and that's going to be so tough because they were just 3 seconds away from one person coining back in. Now they got to wait 20 seconds for the whole team, and that might be enough to where BURTS doesn't have to worry about this point anymore. I think that they technically have time for one push, but even then, unless... Oh, wow. Nope. They got the worst spawn possible here. And that is just going to be a rough start to the game here. BURTS feeling good after that one. At the very least, though, NoName, they could be setting up for the vault steal. Question is it going to be in their favor?
Yeah, BURTS really came out swinging this one. And you can even see now they're just jumping right into the fight again. And I think that they might just show their dominance once more. We see a player on the NoName goes down. BURTS, 2 people go down from an RPG blast, it looks like. And so we're down to heavy medium. I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's just going to be Sueco as the heavy and Vladimir also as the heavy. It's heavy v heavy, but at the same time, they're both going to try to back away and bide their time, waiting for the teams to coin back in. And those coins are going to be coming through now. The main question is NoName going to be in a place good enough to combat whatever's coming next from BURTS, because this vault is not in an easy place to contest. Sueco Z and Vilify are going to be adjusting this next one here, and well, looks like NoName actually got to the vault first.
Yeah. But it looks like BURTS is just going to dive right into it. This is what I like about them. They're just overly confident, and probably rightfully so. It seems like they're just going to jump in and try and grab Vault 2. Oh, they're actually just now opening it. So BURTS definitely has the advantage. They're now getting set up. They're going on the roof, setting up the APS to it. NoName has a good amount of space in between them.
Oh, big pad there. Picks up the pad as well. Look at, I love that pickup pad trick. And we see Noah, though, because he's too busy with his picking up the jump pad tech, he's not there to deal damage in time for the team. And it's another team wipe for NoName. BURTS just out here. The style points are not going to be enough to save you. BURTS waited until the right moment to strike there. And, yeah, I mean, you know, picking up the jump pad so that you have it for later is good, but when you're in just a pure 3v3, just focus on the team fight. You don't need the other pad. You can wait 20 seconds for it to respawn.
Yeah, I think that BURTS definitely has the advantage here. NoName is trying, and wow, look at that traversal from Vilify.
Too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is huge. They're gonna get the APS started as well, so it's not gonna get dropped out. Is what you really want to focus on. However, this is a suspended structure. They could just shoot the sides. That being said, Sueco Z Vilify gonna be sustaining, coming off the side here. They get a little bit of smoke on the sidelines, but check this out. NoName just starting off on this, and the C4 will drop them through. Stalls them a little bit, drops to the outside. Huge drop here, big RNG, and there's the jump pad. Big damage onto Vladimir here. He is going to get healed up, but that means that Edelko is not going to be focused on shooting, which means that there's more room for Vlad to go down. One more healer goes out, and we have the full sustain from BURTS. This is big damage coming through on both teams, but NoName just can't keep up. BURTS knows the timing, how to swap between the sustain, between the shots. NoName, one player left standing. They're going to try to chase him out. There's the wipe.
Yeah,
BURTS
Vilify
on top.
and Zwenko, they're great at healing. Like, I've been watching their health on their team. Anytime that either teammate goes down to half health, they're just immediately swap over from shooting to healing, and we just are seeing not many people going down from BURTS. It's making it quite interesting, and I think now NoName is going to have to run over there. They're going to have one good push, but this might be the end of map 1 right here.
Let's go.
We see NoName jumping on, and they're using their jump pads, lots of in-air combat. He's able to bring somebody down pretty low. He blows up the vault, they throw it down. It's on a jump pad right below it, gets shot back up, takes the time down even more. NoName's going to have to hold it.
Oh, they got the APSs, they got the domes, they got the bunker, but they don't have the time. Look at that, they all get wiped instantly. They took the time to shoot out the APS turrets, and then the RPG connects 140 damage across the board to all players. There's just nothing you can do. That is BURTS.
He's warm.
That was impressive. You see Sueco with 13 kills. I think that somebody on the other team had no kills. NoName had somebody with no kills. Now, he might have been doing more pocket healing or something like that, but in a game like this, that's just not what you want to see. Somebody with 13 and the other enemy team with 0, like,
It's tough because the thing is, NoName, you know, they are a strong crowd. Remember, they are still up here in the winner's bracket, but at the same time, they didn't win a single team fight against BURT. And it is one of the things, NA versus EU, very different play styles, very different ideology of how you approach the healing versus damage output balance. And when it comes down to it, when you have that medium heavy, the you know, that idea of protect the president changes from protect your healer to now keep your heavy alive. Get your heavy inserted into the enemy team so that you could just hold down that left click and continue to do damage. And what can I say? BURT is so good at doing that.
Yeah, that was just, it felt like a whole nother level of gameplay. Like, they have it locked down. They were able to stop every incoming push. They were able to hold. Just really impressive from BURTS.
Absolutely. You really do love to see that intense gameplay, the really, really fast-paced action to just continue to stay on top of it. And no matter what damage was being dealt to BURTS, they know how to swap out, have the medium dive back behind the shield, pull out the healers, and then once everyone's back up to full health, jump back up in front of your cover, try to take out from behind, switch to that shot, do your absolute most damage per second as possible.
Yeah.
And NoName just couldn't keep up with it. They didn't know when to switch out to the heals. They didn't know when to, put their heavy in danger. Their heavy was playing back and trying to, stay in the survive position, but that's why they didn't win a single team fight, was because we never saw a single opening RPG. We never saw a single opening sideline where they tried to drop the enemy team and get one person separated. We did have one fight that was like sustain v sustain, but it wasn't even at a cash out. It was around a vault.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out there was one cool move that I saw is when the vault fell at the very end, it fell onto a bounce pad that they had placed below, and it made it just the cash out station just go up and down, and just took away more time. And it was just a great play from BURTS because they just were able to kind of get those few extra seconds to hold off from NoName, and I think that it pretty much made the difference. And then that final RPG shot right in there after they bring down the APS turret. I think he got at least 2 kills with that. That is the final nail in the coffin on that match.
Absolutely. There is just tons and tons of opportunities that BURTS saw and went straight for it no matter what. Just see your opportunity and take it. And NoName did not recognize when they were giving these opportunities to BURTS. Now, we're jumping into Vegas for this next one, and I'm hoping to see some changes to NoName's loadout, because NoName, they need to start switching out maybe to a little bit more of a bunker style, maybe a little bit off of that, or maybe I'm wrong entirely. Maybe we need to see some more RPG, some more C4. Maybe we need to see him get out in front. But if you're going to bunker, commit to the bunker.
Yep. It looks like AK and FCAR on top of the Lewis gun.
All right, Lewis gun coming out. All right, so BURTS on the shotgun, NoName on the Lewis gun. This is going to be a big difference between the two teams here. Maybe it was the difference maker in the last one. I didn't quite catch if NoName was actually sticking to that in the last one, or if he was on the shotgun. But at the same time, right now, the way that it's looking is that, Vladimir might just not have had the damage output with the shotgun. So if he's switching out to the Lewis gun, maybe this is where, that sort of laid back positioning might help them out.
Yeah, a little more distance, and this map's great at kind of having a large open areas. So I think the Lewis gun is a smart choice over the shotgun. But we see BURTS flying in immediately, very cocky. And I think that they were able to get at least 1 kill down so far.
Oh my goodness, wait, what are they?
No damage, virtually no damage from them. Swako's starting to take a little bit of chip damage off, and they get the 2nd kill. And I don't know where the 3rd player is.
My shotgun,
but BURTS is gonna hop down and get the vault started. And I think they're in a really good spot already.
Oh, absolutely. They are big chilling when it comes to just finding their opportunity and taking it. And check this out. They're timing everything with the rest of the team, right? They can see that res came through. It was most likely going to not be a fib. It's going to be just a regular soft res. Where are they now that they've had to take the time to do that? Right, and so BURTS is thinking on their feet for every single situation right now. And at the current moment, NoName has not yet figured out how to deal with BURTS' adaptability.
Yeah, it's really on the fly movement, changing. Great teamwork. That's what we really need to highlight, is just that they are playing as a team, and that can adapt. And I think it's really one of the hard challenges when you're playing a team, getting out of your structure. But this fight is going on. You see that Vlad goes down. Swako is getting some damage. And Vilify, great with that FCAR.
What people need to realize is that when you're gonna jump pad RPG on a team, it only works if that team is jump pad RPGable. And when you have BURTS that is tactically splitting up between a building, so that if the RPG hits, it's only going to hit one of them. When NoName dives into the air on that jump pad, it just becomes aim labs for Vilify. It just becomes, you know, Z's opportunity to pick up some more tracking practice with the F car.
Yeah.
It is such an intense situation to be in for NoName, but for BURTS it's just aim labs. All right, but we're gonna be seeing NoName drop it.
Yeah, and they're in a good spot actually right now. This is probably their best setup. I don't know where BURTS is, but they're kind of letting him have it. Although it seems like they're running away. They're trying to find that enemy team so that they can bring them down. Oh, here's BURTS. They're in a great position actually. Look at that. They can see the
Oh,
whole
look at that! What an insane angle to hold out. That's crazy. So that was just an APS, but still, we are going to see that NoName has absolutely no idea where the fight is coming from. They're looking for an angle that they can cut off, but it's every angle. Z is able to find one medium out, take him out, and Vladimir goes down, so no heavy. Just up to Noah, doesn't focus on the res, instead trying to get the shots out. The shots aren't going to connect, and that's going to be it. We get a quick start off here,
right,
and it looks like BURTS is just here for the quick 2-0. All they need is one more cash out, and that's going to be the end of the run.
That was such an insane positioning for BURTS. Like that,
Try not to be too
the
far
destruction
off.
was perfect for them. I'm not sure if they destroyed the wall or if that was already like how it was, but just impressive that they were able to see that opening, get into a good spot. They were able to shoot that APS turret, which did have an impact. And just, I haven't seen anybody play on this level today. This is probably some of the most exciting gameplay we've seen today so far. And it's coming from BURTS, and yeah, definitely a force to reckon with. That unfortunately, I think NoName is learning very quickly.
Absolutely. The best thing to see is that NoName is finally figuring out how to get somebody separated. However, this is again a vault fight. Not going to matter too much if if BURTS can't clutch it up here. We're going to be seeing Vilify actually not able to connect where these shots are coming from. Not going to be able to get the perfect dial in on how to escape this. So they run over to the side, and Vlad is just waiting for them essentially. They need to just full reset here for BURTS. NoName finally is in a good position, but again, it's not going to matter too much on this first start.
Vilify's pretty low, although he's getting good damage. Oh, he brings down Noah
Switch, try to reload.
and immediately gets re-healed. This is what I was talking about. The team who just knows when to switch over to healing and from damage. And he's just
He's dead. Last one.
they're really
Oh,
working
never mind. No,
together.
shoot.
It does look like Vilify goes down.
Look at
But
that.
there's-
It's just not even a competition at this point. The way that NoName had every advantage there, and then again, they play in the back. They play it safe. They don't go for the push. They had the ability to cut them off because, again, I said BURTS just needs to back up and reset here. But that really only would have applied if NoName continued to pressure. NoName stopped pressuring, and so BURTS didn't need to reset. The reset came to them.
Well, an unfortunate spawn too from NoName. They spawn 250 meters away. They do have low gravity, so all these jump pads are going to get them some good distance pretty quickly. But by the time they even get close, the cash out will be a fourth of the way done. So we see now Vilify setting up, getting those pop shots. He's got a great position right now because he's able to crouch behind this like whole platform.
Possibly big damage here for NoName, but NoName, they need to focus on dropping BURTS out to the bottom, but they're not even focusing on the drop. They're just trying to deal damage to a double medium team who can heal through it.
Yep.
They're playing this as if BURTS is running HML. They're playing this as if they're against a light team, but they're not. It's a sustained team.
Yeah, and I feel like we're almost at the point where it's too late for them to change their strategy. It does look like NoName's actually going for the steal right now, but BURTS just has great positioning and they're able to hop in and just kind of shut them down. Vilify brings back Sueco.
Yep, they get the res on both teams here. Vilify and Sueco dealing some damage here. Vlad's going to go down, no more heavy, and they have the ability to hold that heavy's trophy all the way in the back, so no res is going to come through. Sueco healing through the massive damage right now. Z and Vilify both just on the heal beams of Sueco. W keys. Look, they make him run away. They make him run away. You can't do this in a competitive environment.
Wow. Oh, well, I don't think that they're going to have time to respawn. They still have, what, 5 seconds before they do. And yeah, I think that this
There's
is
no way.
it. What an impressive gameplay. Just dominating force by BURTS. NoName tried. You could definitely see there were a lot of fights that were close, but the double medium just made it where they were able to get kills right back. And,
He said get active.
Not you. Oh, they came through the front door.
Oh my god. No way that NoName drops only 6 kills through the entire series here. BURTS absolutely stomping right now. And again, it is the difference between NA MMH versus EU MMH. There's a different approach that has developed in ranked. Therefore, a different approach that has developed when you get into these tournaments. Absolutely insane to see that happen. So our next fight, though, is going to be NoName's redemption arc. Will they have a chance at redemption? Because remember, they have to go up against Grief Party. And Grief Party, they're running the light. So, I mean, maybe, you know, because, again, the way that NoName was playing was as if they were playing against a light.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll work out for them here. But if we've been watching Grief Party since the beginning of today, and Grief Party is locked in.
Absolutely.
I don't think that it's going to be an easy road for NoName.
Yeah, and there just really wasn't anything to highlight from NoName. Like, there were some good fights, but overall, they just did not get the kills. BURTS, like, I really just want to point out that, like, BURTS had the height advantage nearly every fight. Like, for somebody that's trying to learn more about the game and get, you know, it going, it's just that advantage because it's so hard in an FPS for somebody to look up, and just having that, like, large areas and large kind of area just gave them a large advantage basically. So I would love to see a redemption arc from NoName, but yeah, BURTS, what an amazing play.
Absolutely. And we are going to have that fight for you to see if NoName can stack up against Grief right after this break.
That was a punishment.
I know, my God.
Oh, all right, I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.